I've received a lot of very interesting comments on this video, and today I want to address those. So let's get started. So basically there were two types of comments underneath that video. One was about me not knowing how to use the gain knob on an LA2A. Sorry about that, guys. I'm a human, I make mistakes, and I apparently did an oopsie there. The other type of comments is the one that I actually want to talk about, and that's about the subscription models. So when you use software on a monthly payment basis, it's basically like you are renting the software. And renting in general is something pretty cool because in theory, you are not responsible for things like upkeep and maintenance. It's actually the company or person that rents something to you who is responsible for the upkeep and maintenance, at least in theory. However, what we see is that this in practice doesn't really work that way. I actually think that the majority of landlords, for instance, do not do the necessary upkeep of their properties. Actually, I have to say that the landlord that I have for my house is super great, and he's also an audio freak, so he might be watching as well. But from what I've seen is that is more an exception, so that's really weird. And quite honestly, this is also going on with the software subscription models or the software renting models. And that was something that became painfully obvious when I made this video about the whole Apple Silicon support thing. Now, another argument for subscription software is that software gets more accessible. And that's kind of true. On the other side, if you need to pay that every month for years and years and years, it's actually way more expensive. So it's not really an argument. I would love to do a calculation, but I've decided to keep this video free of any brands and companies whatsoever. But if you want to see that, I can do that in a future video. It's basically just math, so you can do it yourself, and you will be surprised by the big differences both models have in what you end up paying. Now, another argument against software subscriptions would be the whole archival thing. Like, what are you going to do if you need to open a session 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or whatever? I can basically get my old Mac Pro in here and, boot it up. All the software's on there. It's all paid for and it works. Of course, it's an older system and that kind of stuff, but it works. If I chose to freeze the system, not update anything anymore, it will keep working until the hardware burns out. However, if you would be subscribed to something, who says that subscription is still available 5 years from now or 10 years from now? Company can go out of business. There's a lot of stuff that can happen why your license wouldn't work anymore. So the software could still work, but there's no license for it anymore. I just think that software subscriptions, the way it's going right now, is not the way to go. And apparently, so do a lot of my viewers. Now, I wouldn't make a huge deal out of this if there still would be a choice. And for some companies, there's still a choice. There's a choice between subscribing and buying a perpetual license. However, there are already a few companies that have stopped with the perpetual licenses. And there are some general rules that, nudge you towards getting a subscription plan instead. So I've seen a lot of noise about this, and I just think that we as the whole audio community just need to come to a solution. Now, I want to make it clear that I do not see myself as an activist or something. I don't think that I have the power to change this or something. However, I do believe in democracy. I mean, as Churchill said, it's the least bad system there is. But politics aside, I think that democracy or the power of the community also works in the commercial domain. Because if we want to stop this, we just have to stop subscribing. Do not give your money to companies that do not deserve it. And I know that this sounds simple and it could be really hard because we're talking about tools that you are using for your day-to-day work, tools that you're using to make money. And I've had this conversation with a few people, and I've actually challenged them to move away from software that is not very well updated or is under a subscription plan. And everybody that I've challenged with this actually came out better in the end. Their workflow became better, their system actually ran better, and they had a lot less monthly costs. Actually, one of them had a ridiculously high bill in these subscriptions. He's saving so much money right now. But I think that if you open up yourself for this step, it's actually easier than you might think. Now, of course, I want to disclose my own situation in this. At this moment, I am not subscribed to any audio or video software at all. The only subscriptions that I have are more business type of things that actually work in the cloud and that are actually being updated very well and just all really great software. The software that I'm using is Dropbox, of course, Missive for my email clients so that I can work with my team, and also Notion is also for my team. Now, if you agree, feel free to share this video and also share this message on other social media platforms, and maybe we can do like a hashtag subpocalypse or whatever. Would be really nice, but I would love to see if you are able to stop subscribing to things, if you're able to save money that way. Leave it in the comments down below if you agree, and if you think that I'm completely on the wrong side, I'm open to that as well. Now, it feels a little bit weird to ask for support for my channel that I always do at the end of the video, because a few of my support links are also subscription models, but I think that subscribing to Patreon or becoming a channel member is a bit different, because as soon as I stop making this content, you will stop your support. It's up to you, of course, but I wouldn't do that. So I think it's different, and I think that there are a lot of subscriptions out there that are actually really good, really needed, that kind of stuff. But what is happening in audio right now is just not really cool. So if you want to support me, links are down below. There are also the affiliate links down below, which you can also reach with the QR code. So I've got Toman over here and Sweetwater over here, and the link has been made easier. ytstudio.com/Toman and ytstudio.com/Sweetwater. If you use the affiliate links and then buy something in one of those shops, a little bit gets kicked back to me. So make sure to do that, and it's highly appreciated if you do. Now, I will link Patreon over here. The membership thing is in the bottom down below. Memberships and Patreon are basically the same thing. Last way to support me is by watching more videos. So I will link one of my videos over here, but make sure to also check content from other creators. It's all around this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Keep pushing, and bye-bye.